Hey guys, Tim here from BSMastering Mastering. Hope you're having a very great day. And today, guys, I will be covering some fundamental tools and basic techniques how to master modern R&B music. And I will also show you some secret mastering tricks that nobody will tell you about. And before we start, please remember, if you have a mix that you need mastered, please request a quote at bsmastering.com and receive 50% of your first order. And now let's get started. R&B stands for rhythm and blues. It is a music genre whose origin is from African American cultures. The genre has changed a lot since its origin in 1940s. The style for R&B music is usually soulful and moving. The R&B music that is predominant now is modern R&B. It is not necessarily the same as the original R&B because it is a combination of pop, hip-hop, and funk. Modern R&B has a polished record production style, drum machine-backed rhythms, an occasional saxophone-laced beat to give a jazz feel and a smooth, lush style of vocal arrangement. The lyrics are usually sensual and they are mostly focused on love. Modern R&B has also elements of contemporary pop, pop rock, dance pop, and electropop to create a lighter and more youthful sound. So today I have this peaceful and smooth modern R&B track with vocals, percussion, synth, saxophone, and bass. First, let's have a listen to a part of this track before and then after mastering. Next, I will show you guys my mastering chain. It is completely in the box, and I will cover some techniques you may apply to master your own R&B tracks. For fair comparison, I carry out level matched for original and mastered versions. First, I use Mod Orange EQ, which is a linear phase EQ, just to roll off some of the low frequencies in mono portion. I set it down at 20 Hertz, and I think that's a good setting for the low and roll-off, especially with this R&B music. In R&B music, the tail of the bass drum can really be down at 25 Hertz-ish range. This low cut tightens up the low end of the track pretty well. Then I get rid of all around rumble low frequencies on the side below 80 Hertz. Next, I deal with resonances in a low-mid area in mono portion, because muddiness lives exactly in the low-mid region. So as you may see on the screen, I tamed 120, 130, 140, 160, 270 Hertz. So, and just to remove some muddiness in this track. So now let's have a listen to this track with this matte orange EQ on. So next I use matte blue EQ, which is a minimal phase EQ, to boost some frequencies. First, my feel is that this track needs a little bit more of the low end. I want to create a stability of the kick because it doesn't carry this groovy feel of this song. Basically, this boost at 40 Hertz supports more bass than a kick. So, and I also applied a low shelf here at 130, and since I remove muddiness in the mids before, I'm kind of in a risk of sucking out warmth of the mix, and therefore I compensate it with a broader minimal phase EQ and get some warmth back, and therefore I'm boosting this 150 Hertz area, which is a little bit above this muddy region. And next I'm boosting this 2.5K, and this is good for the lead vocal. And this boost 4.7, 4.9K, it's also good for the lead vocal. And this 6.6 K boost, this is overall good for the highs, and therefore I apply it in a stereo portion. So, and here I apply a shelf in difference or side portion, and I just wanted to make it a little bit wider. And finally I apply a bell at 20K because it creates a different phase behavior, so to say, in comparison with a shelf, and it sounds a little bit softer. And now let's have a listen to this track with this matte blue EQ on. So next I take care of the frequencies in terms of the stereo space, and for this task I use stage 1 from Lipwin. It is a wonderful width and depth processor, and I just add some width and to create a certain sense of, so to say, digital depth and width. And it creates also a subtle unity effect. By supporting the ambient stuff, everything appears more together now. So now let's have a listen to this track again with stage 1 on. Next, I add a tape, and for this task I use Taupe from Acoustica Audio, and I use this A8 module, which is most likely Mara MCI 100 tape machine. And as you see, I use 15 inch per second because it is creating a little bit more of subtle compression, and this tape machine gives a certain sense of unity, saturation and warmth. So I support, so to say, the three-dimensionality of the bass and highs as well. So now let's have a listen to this track with Taupe on. So next I apply my secret trick, so to say, with a reverb. So I do love to use a reverb in mastering from time to time. Of course, everything depends on the song and genre, and this way I create more depth and unity. And for this task I use Ocean Way Studios from UAD, and in this case it is a room ambience of this beautiful orchestral chamber in LA, and I apply this low cut, and I use this broad stage, and I pick omni directional microphones, and I just use one mic in the middle. I never use 3 mics because it is too much. Certainly I'm in the reverb mode. So, and the idea is to blend wet and dry mix with this button in such a way that I do not hear the reverb itself, but I would miss it if I switch it off. And as you may see on the screen, the ratio level between wet and dry is very, very low. And now let's have a listen to this track with Ocean Way Studios on. And the next guy is a Fairchild 670 from UAT. In fact, I do not use it for compression because, as you will see, the needle is just slightly moving. I use it because it can add an additional sense of depth and a little bit of tubey airiness. So, and now let's have a listen to this track with this Fairchild on. And next I use VSC3 compressor from Vertigo, and this compressor doesn't have a tube overtones, but it has a typical quad VCA gluiness, and it adds additional honey to the whole thing. Usually I set the lowest attack, which is in this case for 40 milliseconds, and because that's what mastering is all about, to apply subtle changes. So this long attack, why I said it, I just don't want to kill attack of the kick, and I set the release to auto, and I add just a tiny bit of makeup gain, and I set side chain filter to 140 Hertz. So, and now let's have a listen to this track again with Vertigo compressor on. So finally, I use a limiter to drive everything and make everything louder and bring the sound up to a commercial level. So for this task, I use my beloved Sonax limiter, which can do wonders if really correctly. So I have found that turning off this safe mode really opens up the sound for the better, and this enhancer feature on the Sonax limiter is quite a beast. It gives me a nice clean wide master. It really has some extraordinary capabilities when it comes to the sonic choices I can make at this final level of processing. So now let's A/B original and mastered tracks again. huge part of mastering is knowing what not to do. So I hear so many songs where the mastering engineer is trying to do too much. They end up ruining the mix, sucking the life out of the song and achieve nothing except satisfying their own egos. Don't carry it away. Listen to the song and stay true to what it's telling you to do. So, hopefully something in this video will help you to master your own tracks in this genre. So that's about it for this topic, and if you like my videos, please subscribe and hit the notification bell to support my channel. So have a very nice day, and see you next time.